I think it's better to take that offline because we have like 200 different protocols, and some of those can be easily added into multi-threaded mode. By default, we'll be adding those as requested. So please send a request of which protocols you need to be in multi-threaded mode, and it's much easier to check which ones of those are already in that mode and or can be easily switched into multi-threaded mode. But like I said, most importantly, the best performance ratio and results always come from actually loading test suites in parallel instead of using the multi-threaded capability. Multi-threaded capability is the way of fuzzing only if you are memory restrained. Adding more memory brings actually much better test analysis capability, and also gives you much better capability of reproducing every single failure in case there are failures. So the multi-threaded capability is only recommended when you cannot add any more memory resources and you have to run those tests in a single process in multi-threaded capability. You will get lots more false positives, and you will get most probably lots of issues even in between test cases because the multi-threaded processing of some protocols just isn't really easily feasible. We can generate those, but the system and the setup is much more fragile in multi-threaded capability. When you have each test generator running in parallel, when you save, the best way is to configure one test suite into the setup you want, save it as a test plan, and then load that test plan from command line, and then just build a script that launches 100 times that specific test setup. That gives the easiest to control, easiest to maintain test setup that is scalable to any setup you end up using it into. If you create test plans using multi-threaded capability, it's very challenging and more difficult to move that test setup then to a different test environment, and otherwise also creates lots of issues with that. So yes, we can give you a list of the supported tools, but look also at the multi-process execution as an alternative to multi-threaded processing. Multi-process capability is already there in every single tool. You can do that if the protocol supports that. Only restrictions with that come from the wireless testing. So if you try to open 100 parallel Bluetooth sessions, you actually need 100 Bluetooth interface hardware components as well. You cannot do binding in some wireless protocols in parallel mode, but for network protocols, all of them should already support multi-process execution. Multi-threaded execution is just an easy functionality to add to the ones that you require.
Okay, and perhaps Ari, you could still clarify some terms that we have used. So you've talked about parallel execution, about sequential execution, about multi-thread, and about multi-process. So perhaps you just could clarify these terms and say what each of them are and how they differ from each other.